I have a pair of shoes with perfectly symmetrical holes worn through the toes. They've carried me through millions of steps across the island of Java. From the Pasundan train, the landscape looks like a masterpiece of stability. You see lush agricultural terraces resting beneath active volcanic peaks. But this tranquil scenery masks a 117-million-year-old tectonic collision zone. This island rose from catastrophic, continent-shattering forces that crushed the Earth's crust. To understand the ground beneath these shoes, we have to rewind time and witness the three massive geological rounds of creation that built this place. The Java we see today is built directly on top of a graveyard of crushed oceans and exploded mountains. 117 million years ago, the land we call Java didn't exist. There was nothing here but a deep, empty ocean. Deep underwater, the Indo-Australian plate slid beneath the Eurasian plate. This subduction forces the plate into the mantle, melting it. The pressure shattered the ocean floor into a melange, a chaotic mix of rock and sediment forced upward to the surface. Evidence of this violence sits at Karang Sambung today. There you'll find blocks of mica schist, a rock that only forms under crushing pressure dozens of miles deep, exposed completely to the open air. Java's very foundation was born by shoving the bottom of the ocean up into the sky. As those plates continued to grind, the friction generated enough heat to melt subterranean rock into massive reservoirs of pressurized magma. This glowing magma eventually breached the newly formed crust, building the first towering volcanic cones on the island. In 1772, Mount Papandayan demonstrated the instability of these peaks. During a massive eruption, the mountain's own side blew out, causing a total structural collapse. That volcanic energy is still active today, venting steam and sulfur from the scarred rocky earth. But the geology here works in cycles. Mount Slamet, the tallest peak in central Java, is a perfect volcanic cone that built itself directly on top of the ruined caldera of an older, destroyed mountain. Java's peaks are active engines of fire, caught in an endless cycle of self-destruction and rebirth. By the Pleistocene epoch, the force shaping the island shifted from the fire below to the sky above, as the global climate entered a massive ice age. As water froze into polar ice caps, global sea levels dropped by over 120 meters. This map shows the shallow sea regions separating Sumatra, Borneo, and Java from Asia. During the Ice Age, that water vanished, exposing a massive land bridge known as Sundaland. That exposed land allowed herds of prehistoric beasts, including giant stegodons and mastodons, to march straight from the Asian continent into Java. Bumi Ayu functioned as a prehistoric gateway, funneling the megafauna of an entire continent onto the island and redirecting its ecological history. When the Ice Age ended, the oceans flooded back in to form the Java Sea, isolating the island once more. Major rivers, like the Sarayu, then began acting as geological conveyor belts, carrying loose debris down from the high peaks. These rivers carried millions of tons of nutrient-rich volcanic ash and mud, spreading it across the coastal lowlands. This sedimentation happened so fast it filled in the Salat Moria, an ocean strait that used to separate the island of Moria from the Java mainland. By the 1860s, this newly formed flat land provided the stable foundation for the Dutch to lay down the island's first railway tracks. My worn-out shoes now rest on the floor of the Joglo-Sumarketo train as it rolls across those exact same tracks. The fertile, peaceful Java of today is the direct harvest of 117 million years of extreme, apocalyptic violence.